Hi, welcome back. In this video we're going to look at the hero section. Now a hero section is basically something along these lines. It's a display so you're not hit with a wall of text as soon as you land on a website. Obviously it's good to use as many, images in general. As you can see, this is quite an inviting place to be because it's not just text, it's nice colourful pictures, and you can see all the phones and Android are working on, and so on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a hero section here. It's not going to look like this, it's going to look quite different, but same principle. So let's get on with it. So let's get into the HTML. There's not going to be much HTML to be honest. We can actually fold away the nav because we're done with that. Firstly, though, I do want to make a container div to put everything else we create within the container div, so we can manipulate width should we need to. It's always good to have an overall container wrapper, if you like. So I'm just going to make a note here and say main page container, and then I'm going to create a div with a class of container and an ID of container, and there we go. And within here we want to create our hero section. I'm going to go quite quickly through this because I don't want you to have to sit here watching me for like half an hour. So if you need to come back over the video, then do so. So we're going to create a section, and we're going to give that an ID of hero. And within there we're going to create another div called with a class of slogan, and in there we're going to create 3 spans. We're going to separate them out like that, and yep, I had that right. And in here we're going to put imagine design. Don't be nicking this one, I've already got it. It's actually on my website. Imagine design create. That's going to be the slogan. And now, still within the hero section, I want to add a tagline. So div class of tagline, and in here I'm going to put something like free your imagination. Save that. So there it is. As you can see, the slogan is on top of the tagline, which is how we want it to be anyway. So that is all the HTML we need to do. So let's go over to the CSS and get into that. So we don't need to be in the media query just yet. Let's go here. Let's say these page container, and for that container we are going to display flex, so we can manipulate what's inside. Flex direction column, so those 2 elements remain on top of each other. I'm going to give it a margin of auto. So should we make the width of the container less than the width of the screen, it'll stay in the middle of the screen horizontally. So I'm just going to leave that there. Want the max width to be 100%. Obviously we don't want it to be any more than that. And min width, I'm going to go pretty small here at 360 pixels, because if we have a look in our predefined sizes, which are in Firefox, If we go to something like this, that's 380, that's the Galaxy S20, iPhone 12, that's 390, and I think that the smallest one is around the 360 mark. So, and the iPad something like that. Anyway, we're going to concentrate on desktop first. Anyway, so that's the container sorted. Right. Let's save that. Won't see any difference. Now we need to concentrate on the hero section. And in here, we want to target the hero ID. Display flex once again. Flex direction is going to be column. And the width is going to be 100% as well of the container. Min height, just quickly explain here. You have a property or a unit, should I say, called VH, which is vertical viewport height. And if I was to put 100 VH here, it would take the height of this viewport. Let's just move it up a bit, which is 803. So from there to there is 803, and it would make this section that height. But because we have this navigation bar here, it would mean it would create a vertical scroll. But let's just do it. I'll show you. Border 1 pixel solid red. Save. And now, as you can see, we have to scroll down to get to the bottom border, because it's 803 high after this nav. So we need to take that height off here. So we can use calc. Actually, I'm going to go back to the desktop view because that's what we're doing. Don't want to. There we go. Calc. So I want 100% the viewport height minus the height of the navbar, which was 100 pixels. Save. As you can see, the bottom border is now at the bottom. There's no scroll. If I scroll on my mouse wheel, nothing's happening because it fits nicely. So I'm going to get rid of that border, so we don't need it. Right, so that's the height. So within that section, we want to give it a background. I'm going to use the URL to target an image here that I've already downloaded. So we need to come out of the folder CSS, 2 dots, then into images, and then if you use a VS Code, it will list the images within there. So we can just click on that, save. It just loads the image full size, so it's not fit to the container, to the hero section in any way, shape or form. So let's do that. Background, size, cover, save. There we go. Now I want to move that background slightly. So background position, and I'm going to keep it center vertically, and then I'm going to move, if you watch the balloon, 35% in. There you go. So it's gone up, hasn't it? Actually, it's center. Yeah, beg pardon. That the wrong way round. So it's centered horizontally and it's moved 35% up, and the reason for that is because the text is going to go here, so I wanted the balloon a bit higher up. So background repeat, should you have a really wide screen and which is bigger than the width of this image, you don't want the image repeating, tiling, so we need to turn that off. No repeat. There we go. You obviously won't see any difference on this screen. Justify content. So we've got the flex display, so we can use justify content. We're going to put it in the center, and we also want to align items to the center. And there we have them. Right, just want to put a bit of a gap between those, so I'm going to put 10 pixels, and just do an overflow hidden. There we go. That means that if the screen gets this small and the text is still that big, that it won't overflow the screen. Yeah, bad description, but there you go. I'm new. Hero slogan. Wanted to display flex on these as well. So we're dealing with this here. So we want the flex direction to be row, as it is. We're going to do a margin top of 190 pixels. So it moves it down. So as I was saying, the balloon is up there, the text is down here. So we just want it to make everything look proportionate and not overlapping each other. Font size. We want to make that 4.6 rem. There we go. And we'll come back to the text shadow shortly. So what do we want to do now? I want to change the color of the font of each of these words. So I've got to target them individually, hence the reason I put them all in separate spans. So rather than having to give each span a separate class name or ID, rather I can just do this. So if we go back to hero, slogan, and then span, which span do we want? Then we can use a pseudo selector. We want the nth child span 1. So the first span basically. So copy this. And we can repeat that for the second span and the third span, and now we can do what we like. So I'm going to change the color to an RGB of 240, 203, 238. Save. There you go. Just that one has changed. Now we can do the same here. RGB. This one is 176, 240, 195. Save. There we go. And on the last one, color, RGB. And we're going to make this one 241, 237, 176. Obviously, once you've got a color in, you can just click on here, pick any color you like to change it if you want to save. Right, text shadow. Like I was saying, that can be pretty difficult to read, especially as that color is similar to the background color here. So, I mean, obviously it changes depending on where it is. But let's just do that. Text shadow 0.3 pixels. Actually, let's make that 2 vertical. and a 5 pixel blur, RGBA, 0.5. Let's do that. There you go. As you can see, those have got a bit of a shadow on them now. You may not like that. I mean, if you're doing something similar to this, obviously don't use this because I'm already using it. But you could change this color to something that contrasts with the background here and not bother with the text shadow if you want. This one, however, is going to be a bit lighter. So, where are we? Yeah. Hero. Tagline. I don't know whether it's a tagline or not, but font size. Let's do 1.8 rem. And color. I'm going to make it a light, very light grey. Save that. So as you can see, that could be difficult to read. I'm going to space the letters out a little bit. It's better. And I am going to put a text shadow on there. So in fact, I could just copy this one. And there you go. It's a bit easier to read. Right, so I think that'll do for this. In the next one, we are going to make it responsive. So basically stack this text, move this balloon, and yeah, that'll be it. So I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. Much appreciated. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.